downfield, catches it for a touchdown.
Would you look at that? Evergreen. Would you look at the Suarez there?
Cool with the big three. Great. Takes it all the way now. Nice. All right, you guys joining us right at the start of this game. This is EPS Sports. Rod Lawrence, Ryan Vassbinder here to start the game. We've got Evergreen Plainsmen going against Lakewood's. Oh, let's see here.
The Cougars.
The Lakewood Cougars. So we just started this game right out. As the game started up, you guys saw that mishandle of the ball between the quarterback, Jared Taylor, and the running back, Lyndon Pruitt. It's going to start them off in the hole there, 2nd down and 12. This time they're going to give it to Pruitt. Pruitt's going to try to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and it looks like he's going to get that and a yard. I want to welcome everybody here to McKenzie Stadium down in Vancouver, Washington. Clark County football on Friday night. We've got, like we said, Plainsmen going against the Cougars. Plainsmen coming in off of a big win against Centralia last week. That was a track meet out there, 62-50. We'll go back and talk about some of that stuff here a little bit later. Nice handoff on the fly sweep. That's going to go to their receiver out there, and that's Brent Starkey. We'll take that back. That is Carson Chrisman, number 2. And the first series there for the Cougars is going to be a tough one. They're going to end up 4th and 11, and they're going to go ahead and punt this one away. Fife and Griffin, the 2 deep men. Fight and Griffin. Nice high punt. Evergreen's going to let that take a bounce, and it looks like they are going to down it right about the Evergreen 21-yard line. So Evergreen will take the ball over, 1st and 10 from there. Talk a little bit about that. Carter Monda, the starting quarterback for the Evergreen Plainsmen. You guys might remember we talked about that young man in the opening game of the season here. First time he's played quarterback or played football actually since middle school, and won the starting job for the Evergreen Plainsmen. Was off to a slow start, but since then he has gone 24 out of 35 for 538 yards and 9 touchdowns. That coming with last week when they were able to put 62 points on the board. So it looks like Monza starting to settle in. Running back behind him is Deloney. Griffin goes into motion. They're going to give it to Griffin, and then it's going to be a reverse. Oh, and we've got our first trick play going. Tay Marks out there all by himself, catches the ball, and looks like he is going to take this one all the way to the touchdown. Evergreen puts points on the board in the first 4 minutes of this game on a trick play right out of the gate. So, Ryan, that's kind of nice for them to come out there and kind of do that right out of the gate.
It certainly is. It's definitely unexpected. I didn't see that coming out of Evergreen all year, really. To throw, I don't even know what you call that. Double reverse,
it's a flea flicker,
trick play, Boise State Statue of Liberty.
Right. I think they threw a little bit of everything into that one, right? You know, good job. He had 2 men open on that play. You know, also the other man open on that play was Smith, number 4, who was open on the other side of the field. But we're going to give them that 79-yard touchdown pass from Monda to Marks. Goes in for the kick, and it's going to be good. And with 9:53 left to play in the first quarter, so plenty of time. Evergreen on the scoreboard on their first possession tonight. You know, they kind of talked about how they were probably, going to have to get out pretty fast with this team. I was talking to some of the coaches down there, and he was telling me about a few of the studs that they feel like they had to deal with down there. Jared Taylor, their quarterback, being one of them. Talking about his speed and everything like that. So, I guess they definitely felt like they were going to have to come out here and score as quick as they possibly could. I also had an opportunity to talk to Lakewood's coach, Coach Teeter, and he said this is the most athletic team that they've played so far this year. So, you know, he is definitely looking for a real good game against these guys. I'm sure they weren't looking for the trick play right out of the gate, but, you know, he kind of feels like his guys are ready for a nice game, and we'll see what goes on.
Yeah, this is exciting. I mean, you know, 2 weeks ago as we watched Carter Monda take his first snap, you know, we could tell he was just very unsettled. He wasn't. You could tell he wasn't comfortable, and he's really settled in. I mean, you know, even with that first play there, he was able, you know, to deliver a great pass. And so I'm excited to see how he continues to evolve as a quarterback as the season progresses.
Yep, sure does. That ball's going to get picked up at around the 13, and it'll get run out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. So for their second possession of this game, the Cougars will take the ball over on their own 33-yard line. A little bit about what happened last week as far as Lakewood is concerned. Their quarterback, Jared Taylor, completed 13 for 17 for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushed for 92 yards himself and also scored 2 more. Landon Pruitt actually rushed for 141 yards. So both teams coming off a very big offensive night. So we'll see what this game kind of pans out to be. Lakewood is going to call a timeout right away. Coach Teeter not happy about what's going on. So we want to thank everybody for coming in and joining us tonight. This is part 1 of a doubleheader tonight. The second game this evening is going to be Kelso versus Heritage. So that ought to still be a pretty good ball game as well down there. Both teams undefeated, 2-0. So somebody's going to go out of the stadium with a blemish on their record at the end of the night. We'll talk more about that game as it gets closer. Crispin goes into motion. Nice little spin move there for the running back. Ball comes loose, but I'm sure they're going to say he was already down. Pruitt's going to get to the 38-yard line, bring up second down. This time they'll go ahead and hand it to number 2, Crispin. Crispin looking for the edge. He is able to find it, but that's going to get a whole lot. He will get across the 40-yard line, down to about the 41. That'll bring up third down. Strong side formation to the wide side of the field. Another fly sweep motion. This time the quarterback's going to keep that for himself and go right up the middle. He is going to make it to midfield before he's stopped. That will be enough to move the chains, and they will move into the territory of the Evergreen Plainsmen. First down and 10 from the 49. Strong side formation again. Tight end set off. This time they're going to hand it off on a fly sweep. Crispin gets to the edge, picks up a nice block from his receiver, and he's going to get run out of bounds right there at about the 25-yard line. There is a penalty flag on the ground, so we'll see what that's going to bring us before the yards are marked off. Their tight end number 99, Sept. Big guy, sophomore, 6'3", 235. Threw a nice block out front to help Crispin get around that edge.
Looks like they called holding, so that's going to bring the ball back.
That is going to be a holding call out there in the open field. So nice play, and that's going to bring that all the way back to 48-yard line, so it'll be first down and 9. Send the man in motion. That's going to be Tupance. Pruitt once again right up the gut. He's going to get some nice yardage out of that and get him down to the 41. Second down.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Lakewood settles into this game. Early before the broadcast came up, first play, there was a missed handoff, and we've seen another almost fumble here, and then we've got the big holding call. And on top of that, giving up a touchdown to a trick play, they have to really be unsettled.
Yeah, they sure do.
You know what I mean? They're going to have to find their groove and really come in and get into their game so they have some momentum and they can get into their groove of things and how they play their game of football.
Yeah, they sure will. It looks like they've got the ability to do some good things here. We saw, that play that we saw, there was some good downfield blocking from the receivers. They helped Chrisman get all those extra yards, so they can settle in and get out of their own way. They might be able to move their offense as well. That penalty offsides does move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10. Pruitt now to the outside. Nice little jab step in the inside. They get down to the 30-yard line. Chrisman and Starkey both come into the game as receivers. And here's going to be that instant replay. Nice little jab step. Jump to the inside. He's going to get some extra yards out of that. Second and 4. Oh, inside shovel pass to the big tight end. And he is going to get taken down there on the outside by one of the backers for Evergreen. That is going to be Kyle Norton who steps up to make that tackle. He had to come in there real low on that one. That was a big guy. He gave up about 30, 40 pounds on that young man. That'll be enough to move the chains. It'll be 1st down. Quarterback rolling out. Has a man right there in the middle. Almost makes the connection. Intended receiver is Starkley. Throw it just a little bit behind him. He was right there in the middle of the field. Kind of settled himself in there right behind the linebackers. Is that right?
What? Yeah, it looks like, he got a good throw. There was enough pace on that throw. It just ended up behind him, and it's just another one of those situations where Lakewood is getting in their own way.
Yeah. The quarterback here is going to call a timeout here, defensive timeout. Head coach Chris Swain for the Evergreen Plainsmen out there on the field trying to make sure everybody's lined up. Just to remind everybody, we are live tonight. We can be seen a couple of locations on channels Comcast 328 or the Evergreen Public Schools YouTube channel as well. When we come back on the field, this time the Cougars set up here with 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Looking for somewhere to go. Design quarterback keep, looks like. Nice block up front. And he is just going to keep going. It looks like he might have gone out of bounds. And he kept driving his feet and got all the way down to the 2. Something to be noted. We kind of talked about the Evergreen big win last week against Centralia. But they did give up 50 points. And here's the replay. Nice little blocks picked up front by the linemen. And they just have to make sure that they... when they make the tackles, they're there to make sure that they're going to stop and kind of stop dragging people. Jonathan Landry, the freshman, on that tackle to save the touchdown. Quarterback bounces that one to the outside. This way he's not going to have anywhere to go as he runs into Zyle Griffin, who runs him out of bounds.
Yeah, there's not going to be too many people who can outrun Zyle Griffin.
No, there isn't. So with that play, they will lose some yards here, and that's going to bring up second down and goal from the 8-yard line. Jared Taylor's going to hand it off to the running back this time. Looks like he's going to get a couple out of that and get down to about the 6-yard line. Pruitt had a pretty good week last week as well. We talked about it a little bit. He went for 141 yards. He didn't specify the number of carries he had, but 141 is a pretty good night. It looks like he is the guy they like to ride. Going to roll out here looking for somebody. The quarterback decides to keep it, and he's going to get drugged down by Zio Griffin. Griffin's going to take him down right there at the 5-yard line. That will bring up fourth down. Ponce and Starkey come into the game. And here's a replay. It's like he's trying to find somebody, decided he's going to keep it, and Zail's right there to make sure he doesn't get into the end zone. Line it up again. Looking for somebody right there in the corner, and they are not able to get that. So Evergreen makes a nice defensive stand and keeps Lakewood out of the end zone, and they will get the ball over deep in their own territory. So good job. That's something that I'm sure the coaching staff down there with Evergreen is happy about when you think about them giving up 50 points last week. So the fact that their defense definitely had their backs against the wall right there, and they are able to keep them from getting into the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's been one of the struggle points for Evergreen is they're on the defensive side of the ball getting started very slowly.
Yeah, sure
even in the game 2 weeks ago that we covered, the defense struggled early on.
Yep.
And so this will be a good win for the defensive side of the football for Evergreen.
Pitch out to the running back Deloney. Deloney's going to get down to about the 9-yard line before he's pulled down. Starkey there to make the tackle. Keeping only 5-yard gain on that play. Monda now looks for somebody downfield. Oh, that ball is going to fall out of his hands. He just kind of throws that away. We got a penalty flag there. We'll see what they're calling that. Might call that intentional grounding, but we'll see. Another flag comes out late. We'll see if that's an unsportsmanlike conduct flag.
That's typically what those are.
Or maybe possibly what they're talking about is the a lineman caught the pass when he threw it, but now the coaching staff with Evergreen is talking about the ball was deflected. So we'll see what's really going on here. So holding on Evergreen, they're going to decline that. So they're going to get the intentional grounding call. Here's the replay here. The ball just slipped out of his hands, and he just kind of throws that away. The first official, it looks like, caught the hold by the big lineman, number 75 for Evergreen.
Yeah, and there was no tip there.
No.
The officials got that one correct.
They're going to redo this because this should be a loss of down if it is intentional grounding. Officials down there talking to Coach Swain, letting them know exactly what's going on. So that is the case. They do lose down, and they are going to get backed up half the distance to the goal line. So it looks like they're set up now on the 2. Second down. Claremonta's going to roll out. has a man downfield, and that's going to be Griffin, who's there to make the catch right there at about the 17-yard line. That will be enough to move the chains. Nice rollout there for the quarterback, Monda. Had two receivers open. He was able to catch Griffin coming across there. Here's the replay here. Griffin coming right across the middle. This time Deloney's going to get it. Going to get through that first tackle and get down to about the 25-yard line. Nice little 8-yard run there for the running back. Griffin goes in motion. They're going to give it to him on the fly. He does get the edge before he tries to turn that ball upfield. Going to get run out of bounds by the linebacker there. Though that actually is the quarterback, Jared Taylor, comes up to make that stop on Griffin. Both of them playing super aggressive football right now, kind of pay each other back. Jared said he doesn't remember how he tackled him up around the shoulders
right.
That last play. Here comes the rebound.
Yeah, as Griffin just
quarterback's right there
here
to make that stop. Got an injured man down on the field for Evergreen.
Yeah, they've got Jared Taylor here listed as playing safety on the defensive side of the football, and you don't see that a whole lot. Having your quarterback play both ways, or especially in a position that is expected to make some hits.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got three receivers set on the far side. Griffin lined up in the slot. They're going to hand this ball up right up the middle. There's going to be nowhere for him to go as he gets pulled down by one of the linemen. Number 71, Jared Gomez, there to make the stop, only after about a couple-yard gain there. Kyle Norton, the carrier on that play. Deloney back in as the starting running back. They're going to hand it to Deloney. Deloney goes for the edge, does find the corner, makes it down to the 40. He's going to get run out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Depending on where the spot is, it does look like that is going to be enough to move the chains. Deloney gets the first down out of a nice little 8-yard run again. Here's that replay.
Yeah, that was a great tackle by number 81, Riley Maggard.
No, that's actually Espy. They changed his jersey number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Coach Teeter told me that at the beginning of the game. That's Jason Espy. Deloney's going to lose his helmet on that one, so under the football rules, he will have to take a play off. Norton's back in the game. On the drops back, he's rolling out, trying to find somebody. He is not going to find anybody at all, and he is going to take the sack. Big tackle there by, that is going to be Starkey. Brant Starkey there for the Cougars. Playing linebacker for them, gets in there and creates a huge loss.
Yeah, I think that's just inexperience from Carter Monda in that situation.
Yeah, it looks like he may have had an opportunity to at least get rid of it, and Starkey was right there in his face, not letting him get rid of that ball. Makes a great play for the Cougar defense. Wanda now has a man going across the middle, makes the big catch right in the middle of the field. It's going to be Jaden Fight. Catches him on a post route. He's going to get the ball back to about the original line of scrimmage there. But it will bring up fourth down. And that will be the final play. Let's see if, and there they have, the officials have blown it. That is the end of quarter one, with Evergreen on top 7-0 over Lakewood. The big play about this quarter was the trick play and the very first play for these guys, and they get on the scoreboard. Up to this point, both teams have, both offenses are showing that they can move the ball, just they have not been able to put it into the end zone other than the big trick play there for Evergreen.
Yeah, and we've seen so far from Lakewood that Jared Taylor isn't afraid to get outside the pocket and scramble a little bit. And he makes that decision very quickly that he's going to keep that ball and break out towards the outside. And he's not afraid to run the ball either. I mean, last week he had 2 rushing touchdowns in addition to his throwing yards. So, he's definitely got some speed. And he's somebody that the Evergreen defense is going to have to watch and really attempt to contain him inside that pocket in order to, it just takes away a threat at that point.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. Well, we will start here quarter two. Evergreen on the move there. Fourth down and about 9 to go to get the first down. They would have to get into Cougar territory to get the first down, and we'll kind of see here. I do see Coach Beckman, who is the Evergreen special teams coach, so that leads me to believe that they are going to probably punt this one.
Well, after the first play today, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure they do have a trick play, a fake punt play in the arsenal. Coach Beckman not afraid to call that if he thinks that it's a good opportunity to have that happen. But I do think they'll go ahead and kick this one away. Zio Griffin is the kicker, or the punter. Zio gets off a nice one. Going to take a hop and get down to about the 26-yard line before it's called dead. So the Lakewood Cougars would take the ball over for the first time in quarter two. They are down 7-0. Their offense has shown the capability to be able to move the ball down the field. The last time they got down into the red zone, they got stopped right there on the 5 by the Evergreen defense, and we'll see what happens this time. This time they're going to go ahead and hand it off. Going to get a nice little run. That's going to be Jackson Schultz, a senior, 6 foot, 180, listed as a wide receiver, but looks like he will be handling the ball in the backfield every now and again too. Landon Pruitt not in the game at this point. And for the first time tonight, the Cougars are going to go line up with an empty backfield. Quarterback is going to keep this one. He finds the edge, makes it to the 40, and he's going to get run out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Griffin there to make sure he doesn't get any more than the yards ran up so far. Nice little run. It's going to be about 15 yards out of that play. Jackson Schultz still in there as the running back. This time we have a miscue on the snap, and the quarterback is just going to have to fall on that one and just take that big loss. Like he wasn't quite ready for the center to snap that one to him.
Once again, that's another possession that the Cougars have had where they've just had a miscue. They've had a misstep that set them back, and they're going to have to eliminate those in order to be successful tonight.
Time Schultz on a little quick flare out. Nice little run. He'll get back to the 33-yard line. Maloney coming up to make that stop. And here's that replay. Just a little quick pack, quick out there. Get him the ball in space. Let him see what he can do.
And that's the Cougars' first passing yards of the night.
The rollout. Quarterback scrambling now, has a man down the field. Almost got it out there to him. The intended receiver on that play was Carson Chrisman. Found him an opening. You know what? That miscue between the quarterback and the center really hurt them on this series. There's really no plays that are designed for you're 20, 30 yards away from getting the first down. Brant Starkey is the punter. He's standing on about the 18-yard line. And we've got Griffin and Fight standing on the 30. It's a high punt. It's going to go straight up in the air, but it does take a good bounce. And they will down it at about the 33-yard line. So Evergreen offense will come back on the field. Starting quarterback Carter Monda looking to move the team down the field to score some more points. With 10-13 left to play in this first half. This is EPS Sports. Roger Lawrence, Ryan Bassbinder here, bringing you the game here from McKenzie Stadium in Vancouver, Washington. The Lakewood Cougars come from a very long way. Nice trip they had to make to get down here. About 45 minutes this side of Bellingham, I think they said when I was talking to them earlier. So a nice little trip they had to make to get down here.
Especially for a 4:30 start.
Yeah. All right, Monda and Deloney, the two guys in the backfield. Griffin on the sweep. We're going to get him the ball. He's looking for the edge. He's right there. He's going to make it to about the 41-yard line before he's ran out of bounds. Jason Espy, number 81, there to help get him out of bounds. That will stop the clock at 10:03 left to play. Here is the replay. So a fly sweep there to Griffin. Tried to find something on the inside. Wasn't there for him. Monda now trying to find somewhere to go. Like he is going to get a couple out of that. And bring up a third down situation. About a yard to go. So Evergreen lines up again. We've got three receivers to the far side of the field. Hard count, trying to pull the Cougar defensive line off. This time Monda's going to keep that one himself. Not quite sure of what they're going to give him, but they're there to make the stop right away. Give that Derek Robbins, give him the credit for that tackle. Monda does make it to the 45-yard line, or I should say the 44-yard line, and that's what he needed to move the chains. So they've got double slots on either side, empty backfield. Send the man in motion. He's going to pick it up on the fly sweep, and that's going to be Deloney. Deloney will get stopped just shy of the 50-yard line, but we do have a flag. Holding call against the Evergreen Plainsmen, so that will bring them back 10 from the spot of the foul. Here's the replay. See if we can't pick up the hold. Not quite sure where that may have came from. We did see a hold up front, but I don't know if the official who threw the flag is that, if that's the hold he saw. So that will back them up to the 37-yard line. So first down, and it looks like about 18, 17. Monda rolling out, looking upfield. Has a receiver right there at the 47-yard line. And that's going to be Zio Griffin there to make the catch. Gets him right back to where that the first down play took him originally. So we'll bring up second down now and look like about 6.
You know, that was the first strong throw I've seen tonight from Carter Monda.
Yeah.
You know, it had pace. It hit the target.
Maloney trying to take that one back the other direction. He does get into Cougar territory. To bring up a third down and short situation. Once again, we have an empty backfield. 3 receivers set here to the wide side. Fake it, and this time Monda's going to go to the short side of the field himself. He's going to get a little bit out of it, but it's not going to be enough to get him the first down. And to bring up 4th and 1. Looks like they are going to go ahead and go for this one, 4th down. See here, it looks like the coach is waiting for waited for the official to raise his arms, and they are going to go ahead and take the delay a game on this one. Not quite sure what was going on there. But that'll back them up 5, and then the punt team will come on.
You know, what it could be is they could be right in that range where Zyle Griffin hits his punch, right? And so maybe that extra 5 yards just really ensures that he's not going to kick this into the back of the end zone and try to pin the Cougars deep into their own territory.
Griffin now keeps it low one, and it's going to hit and bounce. And it looks like that one's going to be down at about the 22-yard line. So 8:21 left to play in this first half.
It looks
the
like
Lakewood offense really having a tough time getting started here. Here's another opportunity here to go ahead and move this ball down the field, control the game clock for the remainder of this half, and put some points on the board.
Like Zyle Griffin just hit that punt right off his shin.
Yeah, it did.
A little miss kick, and not the result Evergreen was looking for.
Drops back for the screen. Unable to make the hand connection there is Landon Pruitt. It looked like they had set that up pretty good for him. That'll bring up second down. Quarterback drops back. Has a man open down the sideline there. Almost there to make the catch is the receiver, Carson Chrisman. Jalen fight there to make a good defensive stand on that one.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play by Fight.
That'll bring up third down. First time Taylor looked that far down the field. Not a bad time to go for that play. And the nose tackle there for Evergreen, offsides. So that'll bring up third down and 5.
Definitely changes the situation for the Cougars being 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10.
It sure does. It sure does. Time they're going to hand the ball off and nowhere to go. As the linebacker for the Evergreen Plainsman's right there to read that. And that is going to be David Kalia. 6'2", 235 sophomore. Here's that replay. And he just gets into there untouched. And for the third time, the Evergreen defense steps up and makes a big stop here to keep these Cougars from having an opportunity to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they're playing tough so far.
Nice high punt. It's going to bounce right at midfield and get downed by Chrisman. Evergreen will take the ball over right there on the 50-yard line. Well, since the big play at the beginning of the first play, both teams' offenses are just kind of showing some stuff, but not able to sustain anything to really get that ball all the way down to the field.
No, things have definitely settled down. The energy has settled down, which you do expect coming into really any sporting event. Those first few minutes after that first whistle blows, you know, the energy is really high and it tends to drop until we get closer to halftime. But you know, there hasn't been. You know, I guess Jared Taylor had a big rushing play for Lakewood, but aside from that, there hasn't been too many really big plays on either side of the football.
No, you're right. You're right. Evergreen's going to take a timeout. Coach, want to talk this over? This is a pretty important series for the Plainsmen. Everybody there trying to make sure they're on the same page. And they kind of look at the Evergreen offensive line, and they have got some pretty big kids down there. They have got a nice size offensive line.
Yeah, they really do. They've got some good kids. Or good-sized kids. I'm sure they're all good kids, too.
Yeah. Going to fake it. This time Mondo looking. Going to get run out of the pocket. Trying to get the edge, and he'll get run out of bounds by the big tight end or that big linebacker. Number 99, Seth. 6'3", 235. Quick guy, too. He didn't allow Mondo to find the edge on him. And actually going to lose some yards on this. Monda's going to get flushed out of the pocket. He's going to get chased down by the big sophomore. He takes him down to the ground outside of the field of play. Monda's not real happy about that. Bring up second down and 11. Nice bounce out there by Deloney. He will get across the 50-yard line down to about the 57. The 47. Bringing up third down. And looks like about 7. Clock continuing to run. Stacked receivers down here at the bottom of the screen. Monda looking for a receiver. There's the big receiver coming across the middle. Ziel Griffin unable to bring that one in. Leaves his feet trying to get that one. And that will bring up fourth down and will bring out the punt team for the Evergreen Plainsmen.
Well, it's definitely been a different ball game than both of these clubs played last week. Both of these clubs, by the end of the first half last week, both had 28 points up on the board.
Yeah, they sure did.
So it's definitely something a little new for them.
It is. Oh, bad punt. Griffin's able to handle that one and gets that punt off. And it'll take a bounce and get down inside the 10-yard line. And the Cougars will take the ball over deep in their own territory with 4:16 left to play in this quarter. Okay, so let's see here. The Lakewood Cougars, first down and 10. And they're going to take an inside handoff this time. Nice little running play there, but the ball's going to be fumbled. And they are going to be able to retain possession of that, but Carson Chrisman, after that good run, loses his handle on the football. Had the first down, but with the fumble, he lost a couple of yards, and now it's going to bring up second down and 1.
Well, and Chrisman was one defender away from really breaking free on that run.
Yeah, he sure was. Nice shot there of the Evergreen band. Chrisman in motion. They're going to give it to him again. Looking for the edge at the running back out in front of him, but he is not going to be able to make the corner. Landon Pruitt ran right past the tackler, the guy who actually made the stop. That'll bring up third down. And we got a flag on the play right away. Pruitt does get enough to get the first down, but we'll see what this flag's about. So, illegal formation. Too many people in the backfield on that play. It's like probably one of the linemen lined up a little deep there because they have Seth playing the up back. He's listed as the tight end, but they just tend to put him on the strong side of the ball. That will back them up 5, and it'll be third down and 6. 2:51 left to play in this half. time a double fake. The quarterback's going to keep this one himself. And he is not going to get much out of that at all, possibly a yard. Evergreen's defense up front doing a much better job of tackling this weekend than they did last weekend. That play will bring the punting team back out for the Lakewood Cougars. Evergreen with an opportunity to get the ball in some real good field position and plenty of time on the clock to get another point in, another score in before we get to the half. Ball's going to take a pretty good bounce after it was kicked straight up in the air. Starkey did a good job of handling that one after it skipped off the turf there before he was able to catch it. So we'll see here as Evergreen takes the ball over on the Cougar 46-yard line if he is going to try to put this one in the end zone before the minute and 50 runs out.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to go ahead and go for it. You know, this last possession by the Cougars is just one more series where they had penalties that really hurt them. You know, it really stepped up, you know, set them back, and now we've got Evergreen on the ball with a minute 50 to go, trying to put another touchdown in before the half. Carter Mondin in shotgun rolls out. Gets it to number 15, Tay Marks. That's going to be a gain good enough for the first down. Here's that replay here. Rolls out, just a little pitch to Tay. Pushed out of bounds. Got three receivers on the far side of the screen. Quick pitch to Jalen Fight. It's going to be a short gain. So he picked up 3 yards there. Now we're looking 2nd and 7. It's a minute 40 to go. Monda lets it fly just out of reach of Jalen Fight. Looks like there's a flag on the play. We'll see what the officials say about that. Evergreen giving a shot to the end zone. Officials there calling defensive pass interference. So that's going to move the chains for the Evergreen Plainsmen, give them the first down with a minute 35 to go in this half. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Got 3 receivers on the far side of your screen there. Monda hands it off to Deloney. He's going to pick up a few. Clock's going to go ahead and continue to run. It's at 1:25 left in this half. It's going to set up second and 8. Excuse me. Evergreen with 1 timeout left remaining in this half. As the clock continues to run. Zyle Griffin went in motion. Officials stopped play dead. So we've got a false start here on Evergreen. That's going to move them back. Second and 13 with 54 seconds remaining. The clock is running at this point. Monda's in shotgun. Deloney to his right. It's tipped. And they're going to call that incomplete. Looks like intended receiver is going to be Tay Marks, his inside wide receiver. Just going to get that pass off. It's going to stop the clock. 38 seconds remaining. Third and long. Monda in shotgun. Delaney to his left. He drops back. Gets rid of it. It's tipped. The tip almost finds the hands of Jalen Fight. It's going to be incomplete. That's going to bring up fourth down. Everything's going to bring on their field goal team, it looks like. This is going to be a 33-yard field goal attempt from the left hash. Lakewood goes ahead and calls a timeout. We've got 34 seconds remaining in this half. Evergreen up 7-0. If you're a fan of either of these teams, it's definitely a different game than you guys saw last week. The majority of this game has been played in the middle of the field. Evergreen defense has made several big stops tonight, preventing the Cougars from getting on the board. They've done a fantastic job. They've really improved from what we've seen 2 weeks ago. We've got Lakewood taking another timeout here. Looks like there's some confusion on that side of the football of what the play call is, what they're trying to do. Maybe Lakewood's final timeout of the half. As they try to escape this half, only being down 7. From the big trick play, first possession of Evergreen, first play of the game for Evergreen. 79-yard touchdown pass to Tay Marks. Carter Monda to Tay Marks. There we go, third time's the charm. It'll be a 33-yard field goal from the left hash. Eli Delangel for Evergreen. Snap's good, holds good, kick is good. That's going to be for 3. 33-yard field goal attempt is good. That's going to put 3 on the board. Evergreen 10, Lakewood 0. With 29 seconds remaining in this half. Evergreen started themselves in a good position on that series, good field position. They were able to go ahead and make their way. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but they still got three points up on the board. Lakewood has some good takeaways there. Their defense played really strong, preventing them from getting a touchdown in that series. For Lakewood, we got number 3, Brant Starkey, lined up about the 5-yard line, ready to receive this kick. Kicker for Evergreen is going to be Eli DelAngelo. It's a low-driven kick. That's going to go out of bounds. It's going to draw a yellow hanky from the officials. That was part of the playbook for Evergreen to prevent a big return. Lakewood Cougars are going to go ahead and take the ball over on the 35-yard line. Lakewood declined the penalty. They're going to make Evergreen re-kick this one. We got Starkey back at the 9, ready to receive the kick. Eli DelAngelo is going to go ahead and kick this one from their own 35 after that penalty. Another low-driven kick. Going to be picked up by number 27, Shea Dixon. And Lakewood's going to go ahead and take over the football. Their own 47-yard line. We got 25 seconds remaining in the half, excuse me. Lakewood with no timeouts remaining. They're going to try to get something done, get into that locker room at halftime with a little bit of momentum. Three receiver set on the far side of your screen. Jared Taylor in shotgun. He's rolling out under pressure. We found Landon Pruitt. Short gain. It looks like there's definitely a flag on the play, maybe late hit. Let's see what the officials say here. That personal foul on the defensive side of the ball. Be a 15-yard penalty on top of what was gained. We got first down Lakewood from Evergreen's 37-yard line. Jared Taylor is able to throw the football. This definitely puts him within striking distance. With 19 seconds remaining. In this half, there's another flag on the play. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty from the Evergreen sideline. That puts the Lakewood Cougars into the red zone on the 17-yard line. We've got 1st and 10 from the 18. Taylor's looking out. He's scrambling. He gets outside the pocket, trying to turn the corner and just can't quite get there. He is able to go ahead and get out of bounds with 9 seconds remaining. There's a flag on the near side of the field. Not quite sure what that was about. Here we go. 2nd and 7, 9 seconds to go. We got Taylor in the shotgun. Split receivers. He looks to his left. He's going deep. Just out of the reach. Intended receiver number 14, Mason Trapons. We've got 5 seconds remaining here to go. See if Jared Taylor and his Lakewood Cougars can get anything going into this half. Set up for a field goal here. Number 4. Zyle Griffin picks it up. He breaks one tackle. He gets by. He's going to go ahead and take that to the house. Touchdown, Evergreen Plainsmen. Well, it looked like Lakewood was getting the momentum they wanted, the momentum they needed. They were going to go ahead and at least get some points on the board before the half. And once again, a miscue just really set them back. And it resulted in a touchdown for Evergreen Plainsmen going the other direction. It's now 16-0 with an extra point coming. Holds good. Eli DeLange will go ahead and puts it through the uprights for the extra point. And we're going to go ahead and head into the half. Evergreen High School 17 to Lakewood Cougars 0. It's been an exciting half of football so far. We're going to go ahead and send it down to Matt Griffin, Rodney Lawrence. They're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about it.
Hello, everybody. Matt Griffin here, the executive producer of EPS Sports. Thanks for joining our halftime show. We brought Rodney down from the booth, perhaps a little bit early, and we were talking about what we're going to talk about at halftime and how we can get some momentum going because they were kind of fighting each other to a stalemate, and that's how you gain some momentum going into the half, right?
That sure is. That sure is. I mean, we looked at the penalties that they were able to get them close, and then they missed a field goal, and Zyle Griffin takes that all the way back for a 97-yard touchdown. They're up 17-0 now.
Okay, up until that point.
Yeah.
I think, neither squad was able to convert on 4th down very often.
No.
Fighting to a stalemate, a lot of kind of careless penalties.
Yes.
That was costing Evergreen some yardage there at the end of the game until that lucky break. What do they have to do in the second half to keep from, fighting to stand still in the middle of the field like they were for much of the first half?
They're going to have to get out of their way a little bit. They did some real good things defensively, so I'm sure that is one thing that the coach is going to talk about. Last week they won, but they gave up 50 points and over 400 yards rushing, so they have to be real happy about what the defense is doing up to this point. The offense has kind of stagnated a little bit. Monda is showing some new things and some different things. Just got to complete a couple of more passes to kind of open up the running game, and I think that they're going to be on their way.
And last week's game versus Centralia was at 60-54. That's a whole lot of points to put on the board.
It sure is.
But it's a lot of points to give away.
It is.
So what do they have to do to keep that equation from coming back?
The defense has got to do in this second half what they did the first half, and that is just make tackles. There's a couple of they made a real good stop there in the first half, in the first quarter, where Lakewood had gotten down inside the 5-yard line, and they were able to take the ball over right there inside the 4, going back the other direction. So with that being said, and seeing them do that, the coaches have to be happy with the way the defense is playing so far.
One last question. Let's talk about Lakewood. Some folks have them favored coming into tonight's game. What do they have to do to respond to this late surge by Evergreen?
That's going to be tough. They did. I was talking to their coach before the game, and he had said that this is going to be the most athletic team they've played so far. And with only being 3 weeks into this season. So they were a little concerned about that. They took a long trip here, so maybe they're a little bit of the road legs a little bit, but they're a good football team. Jared, their quarterback out there for those guys, does real well. He ran for 92 yards himself last week.
That's a lot for a quarterback.
Yeah, and he was 13 for 17 for over 300 yards. So he's got the capability to bring this team back.
All right, well, thanks for coming down. We'll have more second half action in just a little bit.
All right,
thanks Rodney. All right, want to show you some of the progress that was made over the summer as part of our Envision Evergreen Facilities Bond. Now, in the spring, we got a great new toy through an annual grant process. A drone that we're able to take up into the sky and show you all the great construction work that's now taking place around the district as part of Envision Evergreen. Let's begin with a look at the first 3 elementary schools taking shape: a new Sifton Elementary School, a new Image Elementary School, and a brand new elementary school at Northeast 162nd Avenue and Northeast 39th Street. The new Sifton Elementary School is taking shape behind the current school site. We visited multiple times over the summer as crews marked off the site and began pouring the concrete foundation. During our most recent visit, some of the exterior walls had already started going up. Over at the new Image Elementary School site, about a mile away from the current school, construction crews had to spend a number of weeks prepping the site by draining groundwater and doing extensive grading work on the site. During our last flyover, you can see how parts of the foundation were being mapped out. As we switch over to a time-lapse video, you can see how since then, the foundation is already starting to take shape. Next, over at the site of our brand new elementary school, we made our first flyover on July 3rd, just as workers began preparing the site. By the end of July, the site looked much different, with the outline of the school starting to take shape. And once again, as we switch over to this time-lapse view, you can see parts of the foundation have since gone in. All 3 schools will be open in time for the next school year. And these aren't the only Envision Evergreen Facilities Bond projects taking place over the summer. Over at Heritage and Union High Schools, brand new turf fields went in, allowing both schools to hold evening games and practices. Several schools received roofing upgrades, including Evergreen High School and Frontier Middle School. And more energy-efficient HVAC systems went in at several schools, including Fircrest Elementary School, where we got to see workers removing the old units and replacing them using a giant crane. Now, as we mentioned briefly in that piece, both Heritage High School and Union High School, as part of the Envision Evergreen Facilities Bonds, have brand new turf fields. It was a very fascinating process to watch, and so take a look at how they pieced together that field over at Heritage High School. Our first visit to check out the Heritage Track and Field project was back on June 28th. By then, the old field surface had already been scooped away, and crews were loading in the sand and gravel base that the new turf sits on top of. This base helps water drain from the field and not pool in muddy puddles as it did in spots on the old grass field. After the base was smoothed out, we came back to see the first sections of turf being rolled out one by one across the field. Each 10-yard section was rolled into place and then stretched out to its full length and width. Workers then used a handheld sewing machine to sew each section to the next before they were flipped right side up and stretched out again. Sewing and stretching the entire field, 10 yards at a time, took just over 2 days. As the turf was being stitched and stretched into place, another crew installed new energy-efficient LED field lights, allowing for nighttime games and practices. On our next visit, we got to see some of the most intricate work of the process, cutting out hundreds of field markings, from the yardage markers for football in penalty boxes for soccer, as well as markings for lacrosse, and gluing in turf of different colors, white, yellow, and blue. Once all the field markings were laid in, tractors roamed back and forth across the field, pouring sand and then black rubber pellets that are worked into the artificial turf. They had a special ribbon cutting ceremony over at Heritage High School last week, and those fields are already in use largely by the soccer team so that they're able to have nighttime and evening games and practices. Product of Evergreen is our periodic look at Evergreen Public Schools graduates who are now pursuing their passions. We want to tell you about one such graduate from Mountain View High School pursuing his passion for baseball as the general manager for one of our area's best-known minor league baseball teams, the Portland Pickles. Hot dogs by the dozen, a costumed mascot, in this case a giant pickle named Dylan, and a crowd of thousands gathered to watch the Portland Pickles take on the Corvallis Knights. Helping make it happen is 26-year-old product of Evergreen Public Schools, Ross Campbell, the Portland Pickles general manager.
Fisher's Landing Elementary, Shahalo Middle School, and then ended at Mountain View High School. The head baseball coach, Aaron Coutu, was a fantastic coach, and he taught us a lot about discipline and leadership and things like that.
The guidance of coaches and teachers, a passion for baseball, and a handful of business and marketing classes put Campbell on the path he's on today.
Well, I played baseball in high school. For all 4 years, I was on the varsity baseball team for 3 years and a captain my senior year. And really, once I got a couple scholarship offers, and I decided I can either go to a small school or I can go to a big school and really kind of explore the sport management aspect and the business behind sports. And so I went to Washington State and kind of stuck with that route the entire way.
A degree in sports management is helping Campbell put the Portland Pickles on the minor league baseball map with enthusiastic and often sold-out crowds and sometimes quirky promotions.
And we kind of looked at everything and we said, what is actually going to be creative that no one's done before? So instead of doing a Star Wars night like every minor league team does every single season, we decided to do things like DB Cooper night, where we dressed up our favorite intern as DB Cooper and he ran around throwing dollar bills out. But really, it's just doing things that people haven't done before. And the media and the press seems to really like being creative. And so we really like kind of branching out and not doing the norm, I will say.
On the night we visited, the Pickles gave away 600 Pickles mascot bobbleheads. During a typical game, Campbell is in constant motion, from helping out season ticket holders and VIPs to making sure the food and entertainment concourse is running smoothly. But for this Mountain View High School grad, it's all about putting passion into action.
It's a lot of work, it's a lot of hours, but if you have a drive for this kind of thing, it comes second nature.
And as they say on the Pickles home field, that's a really big deal. And I want to thank Ross Campbell and the Pickles organization for the hospitality they showed when I visited them this summer. Now, tonight's EPS Sports broadcast and all of our EPS Sports broadcasts wouldn't be possible without our dedicated student and alumni crews. Tonight's game on camera, audio, instant replay, we have Alex from Union High School, Leo, Oscar, and Diego from Mountain View High School, as well as alumni from Union, Mountain View, and Heritage High Schools. Last year, KPTV came to do a story about this EPS Sports program and our counterpart program in Vancouver Public Schools, VPS Game Time, to explain what it takes to put a show like this on the air.
Well, the magic of TV really is truly done behind the scenes. It's the people in the back that are the real MVPs. The viewers in Clark County, the real winners of the broadcast crews delivering football, volleyball, soccer, track, hoops, you name it, they've got it. We go tag team with Vancouver Public Schools Game Time and Evergreen Public Schools Sports Broadcasting in tonight's High School Spotlight. This is reality TV. Student-driven, behind the lens and behind the switcher.
Something usually goes wrong right at the very beginning in the studio.
That's TV.
The TV stars beyond the Friday night lights are the man hours logged after school by the crews for VPS Game Time and Evergreen Sports. We're both ready for prime time.
People always ask like, why you keep doing this when you could just go home and hang out. To me, this is kind of hanging out because it's that much fun.
VPS and EPS are instructed by former local television news producers Nick Voll and Matt Griffin.
As somebody who's worked in news, you know, I've seen what a good production looks like, what a professional production looks like, and that's what these kids are getting.
We're trying to give them a real-life job experience that they could take into any type of video field, broadcasting field.
The student volunteers are in video production courses during the school day before the broadcast day begins. Comcast Cable Channel 328, as well as their respective live feeds on Facebook and YouTube.
I don't really see it as extra work. It's really fun to me, and getting to do this after a long school day is sometimes hard because I can get pretty tired, but overall, it's pretty engaging.
And not all jobs are created equal.
I actually ran the instant replay machine, which everyone says is the hardest job, which it is.
Both broadcasts deliver the images differently. VPS streams over a fiber network to a control room a few miles away. EPS completely on scene. The production truck at the stadium or gym where the broadcast is originating from.
One of the things that we appreciate is that our school districts actually support this sort of thing, that they don't view it as some sort of, you know, extra thing. It's something that actually benefits our community, from the folks at home watching to the kids on the court or the field and the kids behind the camera. It's something that they value, and we appreciate that.
And the programs have churned out some professionals in the industry, like Timber's Emmy Award-winning director, Patrick Brown.
This gives an opportunity to just create that school spirit, you know, showcase students doing positive things in a way where they can learn real-life job skills. And I want to thank all of the students and alums who make our broadcast possible. We are just minutes away from second half action. Evergreen versus Lakewood. Evergreen up 17-0. More second half action coming up.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Some say e-cigarettes aren't dangerous.
But science shows nicotine can harm teens' developing brains.
No matter how they're exposed.
Let's do an experiment to find out.
Here's a teen who won't be using e-cigarettes.
Now we need one willing to risk their brain development.
Anyone care to volunteer your kid?
Anyone?
Your kids are not an experiment. Protect them from e-cigarettes.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
I will hold it against you.
All right, hey, we want to welcome you back here for the second half of football here at McKenzie Stadium. We've got Evergreen and Lakewood going against each other. Evergreen on top 17-0. Ball picked up right there inside the 25. And Evergreen's going to take the ball over first down and 10 from the 20. Looks like where the official is going to stop is at the 28-yard line. So first and 10 from that 28. That first half ended kind of wildly, didn't it?
It certainly did. You know, it looked like Lakewood had an opportunity to go ahead and put some points on the board with the help from Evergreen and some penalties and that type of thing. And then the field goal opportunity gets tipped right into the arms of Zyle Griffin, which is probably the worst person that ball could fall to at that point in time.
Is. It sure is. Monda now has them set up. Griffin in motion. They're going to fake it to Griffin, give it to the running back. Running back's not going to have anywhere to go this time. The big sophomore Seth there to make the stop. No yards gained. There's a good shot of number 99, 6'3". What do they have him listed on here? 6'3", 235. Looks a little heavier than that.
I was thinking the same thing.
Drops it again. Monda looking for somebody downfield. Has Fight going for the ball. Him and Pruitt fight for that one. Fight unable to bring that one in. That'll bring up second down. Or third down, I'm sorry, 3rd and 10. Landon Pruitt there following Fight step for step when that ball was let go. Fight would have had to make a very good catch to be able to bring that in because he was well covered.
Yeah, he really was.
Drops back again, has a man coming down the middle of the field. Looks like the intended receiver. Looks like that was Tay Marks, number 15, the tight end.
Well, Monda got popped pretty good there, number 44 for Lakewood. Andrew Malloy came through untouched and
kind of lit him up on that one, didn't he?
He was a little slow to get up.
All right, Zyle Griffin is the punter, and he's going to be standing on like the 15-yard line or so, ready to return it. On his own 35 is Landon Pruitt. Driving kick. We'll see if Pruitt is going to catch this one on the bounce like he does. And he's going to get out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So 1st and 10. Lakewood's defense doing a pretty good job. And they have for the most part. I mean, you got 2 big plays from Evergreen. The trick play in the first quarter at the beginning of the first and the special teams play at the end of the second. All the defense has really given up, if you think about it, is that 3 points.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they've been playing well.
So they come out for the first time in this half with an empty backfield. Man in motion. Taylor's going to fake it. Roll out to the other side. Shovel pass to the running back, Pruitt. Makes a nice little jab step there to get past that first tackler, but he's going to get down to the 40-yard line before he stopped. I've always liked that shovel pass. It's a good one here. Able to get that to him right there. The cool thing about that, if he drops it, it's an incomplete pass, but it's always successful, just about always successful.
Yeah,
first down and 10.
Successful for 14 yards.
Time a nice little pass and catch. That's going to be Carson Chrisman there to make that catch. Real close to the first down. Remind everybody that this is the first game of a doubleheader. You can see in the back there in the background that the Heritage Timberwolves starting to trickle into the stadium here, get ready for their game tonight against Kelso. Ball almost picked off there by a defender of Evergreen. Intended receiver on that play was Carson Chrisman. That'll bring up third down and 1. Stacked receivers down at the bottom of your screen. Two punts. And an option, they're going to get that out to Pruitt before he gets run out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. That will be enough for the first down. Jackson Schultz now in the game, lined up as an outside receiver. Logan McLean and Chrisman stacked on top of each other there. They're going to give this ball to the running back. He's going to bounce that to the outside and get down across the 20-yard line. Looks like that will be enough for another first down as the chains move. Lakewood's offense moving the ball down the field. Set up again. And they're going to give it to the running back again. This time he's got nowhere to go. He's going to get stopped immediately. And that's going to be Tay Marks, who gets in there right away and makes that stop. Yeah, he is essentially untouched as he gets in there and tackles Pruitt for a big loss. Second down now and 18. Taylor looking for somebody. It looks like he's going to have to end up scrambling. Nice little fake move, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up third down. So they will have to get down to the 7-yard line for the first down here. Empty backfield. Going to roll out. There's a man there, makes the catch right there at the 10. We'll need about a couple more yards for that first down. Chrisman there to make the catch. Shot there of the Cougars. Three receivers on the far side. Drops back looking for a receiver. He's going to get flushed. Time he takes off himself right up the middle of the field. And it looks like he might get enough for the first down.
It's going to be
See
close.
where they spotted him. Looks like they have him on the 6. That might be enough to move the chains, and it is. That will be enough to get him the first down, and it'll be first and goal from the 6-yard line. Nice little scrambling there by the quarterback.
Yeah, here's the replay. Tay Marks really almost had him.
He sure did. Well, here's the chance. They're going to get a flare out to the running back. makes nice little moves in there, and he's going to get into the touchdown for their first score of the game. Landon Pruitt. Some fancy footwork there as he makes 3 people miss him as he gets into the end zone to put points on the board for the first time tonight for the Lakewood Cougars. So they moved the ball down. I mean, you kind of saw that capabilities in the first half of play, but they would just kind of, they either stagnate or the defense would do something and step up. This time they pretty much kept control. A couple of plays broke down. The quarterback was able to use his legs to kind of get him out of things and keep him in things. And they were able to get down the field and get this score. So 7:57 left, and the Lakewood Cougars are on the board. The extra point's going to count, and now they are only 10 points down. So
yeah, I think
still definitely a game here.
Oh, it certainly is. A big difference in that last drive by Lakewood as opposed to what they were doing in the first half is they moved the ball through the air more in this series, and they definitely saw some success. It wasn't big passing plays or anything like that, but even this touchdown pass here to
Landon
Pruitt. I mean, it's just a little pitch out, and they're able to find yards upfield.
Yeah, and you saw that nice little footwork there. He made 2 miss. To get in. So something good here. Evergreen's definitely going to want to hold on to the ball and burn up some clock and get some more points on the board on this next series. Second game tonight will start at 7 o'clock. That'll be the Kelso Highlanders and the Heritage Timberwolves. Both those teams undefeated coming into week 3. It's going to be caught right there at the 20. It's going to be Fight. Fight finds the edge. He's going to get to the 40, crosses to the 50-yard line before he's brought down. So he'll go down in good position there, making it into the Cougar territory. First down and 10 from the 49-yard line.
Yeah, that was a solid return from Fight. He found his lanes and was able to go ahead and gain up some serious yards on that return.
Sure was. So Monda brings the offense onto the field here. Fight and Griffin lined up on the far side of the field. They're going to hand this off to he fakes it. This time the ball slips out of his hands. And he is going to lose yardage on that one. Looks like he tried to make the pass and the ball just slipped out of his hands and hit the ground. So that'll go down in the books as a sack. And Evergreen loses a lot on that play.
Well, and he's lucky it's going down as a sack and not as a...
Yeah, that's a 12-yard loss. We'll set him back up again. Fight and Griffin now lined up here on the short side of the field. Deloney, the running back. They're going to give this to Griffin, but there is going to be a penalty flag. Too many guys moving around out there. And they'll get a nice little gang tackle. Well, they didn't even knock him down, but they had everybody over there. Too many people moving. Well, Tay Marks looked like he was going to take off, but the officials didn't do anything. So what they would have had to have done, what Monda would have had to have done to make that play worth anything, is to wait a little longer, give Tay an opportunity to set, and then send Ziel Griffin in motion. So that'll back them up 5 more. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 20. Maloney right now, he's gets that ball. It's going to make it to the 44-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. So they'll be kicking the ball off again here.
Yeah, that's another good defensive stand by the Lakewood Cougars.
Now, I think that one might have had a little bit to do with Evergreen with that first big, that first big miscue there from Carter Monda. Lost him 12 yards right out of the gate.
Well, you certainly got a point there. If Lakewood didn't put the pressure on.
So here we go. Set up here, got the snap. That ball's going to be picked up off the bounce. Shea Dixon picks that up off the bounce and is going to get a couple of good yards out of that one. There is a penalty flag on the far side of the field, so we'll see what that call was. So movement on Evergreen, but they're going to decline that, and the Cougars are going to take the ball over. Oh, let's see where the officials at that stopped. Right there at the 35-yard line, or 36. So 1st down and 10 from there. All right, so they break, line up slot receivers on either side. Quarterback drops back right there for Jackson Schultz. Schultz is going to get about 5 out of that before he goes out of bounds. Slot receivers once again. This time Jackson Schultz once again is the receiver. This time Schultz is going to get a few more yards out of that, and he's going to make it down to the 1st down. Looks like he's going to get run out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. So the Evergreen defense is playing off the receivers pretty good there, and it looks like they're going to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, Lakewood's definitely had some success with these short, 5-6 yard passes.
And they're going to do it again.
Seems to be the same play 3 times in a row.
As long as that DB, he's off about 6 yards. That's Jonathan Simon. That's the freshman, Jonathan Simon. No, I'm sorry, he's a junior. This time he's playing it a little closer, and this time they're going to hand the ball off. Pruitt breaks right through the middle of the field, and he's going to get across the 40 down to the 35, 36-yard line before he stopped. That'll also be enough to move the chains. Looks like the chalk talk at halftime for the offense of the Cougars is working. The game plan for this second half seems to be working for these guys right now. Got 3 receivers on the far side, and they are on the move. And they're going to hit Schultz one more time. This time the DB comes up a little quicker, but Schultz has already got the 6 yards once the tackle is made, and that'll bring up another 2nd and short situation.
I'll take a touchdown 6 yards at a time any day of the week.
Yeah, sure will. Sure will. So 3 passes to Schultz and a run to Pruitt. And the Cougars have gotten themselves into Evergreen territory. Sign the coach there. Coach Teeter going to take a timeout here. Just kind of make sure everybody's still moving. They've moved the ball well from this series here. Maybe the coach saw something. He wants to make sure all the players are on the same page and that they saw the same thing too. But we saw Jackson Schultz a couple of times earlier in the game as coming in as running back. It's the first time that we've seen him line up as the outside receiver, and he's caught 3 passes. For about 20 yards already.
Yeah, it's definitely working. And if you're Lakewood and Evergreen continues to give you that space.
Yeah, he's lined up off of him pretty deep again. Late pitch. It's time the quarterback, the running back's going to try to get up there. Griffin comes down hard to make that tackle. It looks like they are going to get some couple of yards out of that before Zael comes from the safety spot to make contact. Nice shot of the traveling squad there for Lakewood. Some family came down for the game. Slot receivers once again. Drops back. He's got to give and go. Time the quarterback's going to take this one for himself, and he is going to lower that shoulder. But we've got a penalty flag sitting over here on the 30-yard line. That might negate all of that. We'll see what the call is. Carson Crispin actually had broken into the open on that play. I don't think the quarterback saw him. So that's going to back him up 5. Taylor drops back. This time he's going to break right up the middle of the field. And he is going to get down to the 20, across the 20, and down to the almost 15-yard line, just on extra effort there to get back inside the red zone for the second time in as many possessions in this third quarter.
Jared Taylor has some great legs on him. He's shown that he's able to scramble out of position. Scramble out of difficult situations. We'll see it here, but this time he finds a hole and he's able to really just go ahead and get through it and he breaks 1-2 tackles and is able to fall forward and gain those extra yards.
He sure is. Evergreen's tackling a little suspect on that play. Deloney trying to create a fumble and kind of grab the ball out of it instead of getting a tackle and bringing him to the ground. He gets an extra 5 yards off of that just because they didn't try to bring him to the ground. Slots again. This time the quarterback's going to keep that. He's going to follow in behind his blockers for the touchdown. Give the credit there for his big lineman, number 55, Jaden Riley. He just kind of tucked in right behind Riley and was able to get the 14 yards in there for the touchdown. So with 2:42 left to play, Lakewood on their way back now.
Yeah, they've gotten themselves right back into this football game. With 2:42 left remaining in the third quarter. With the rough start that they got in that first half,
yeah,
this is huge for them to come back and get 2 unanswered touchdowns.
And now we've got a Penalty flag here, and it's going to be delay a game. So that's going to back the Cougars up 5, and they'll try for the extra point 5 yards further away.
You know, they don't have the play clocks up tonight.
No, they haven't all season, it looks like. So I don't know if they're not working this year or what the deal is. But I do remember them last year, but I haven't seen them yet this year. Set up to get this game within 3. And they are able to do it. So last 2 possessions for the Lakewood Cougars, and they've come back with scores on both of them. Definitely making this a football game. Evergreen only up by 3 points. And here it is right there with a nice block from Riley, who engages Deloney there and doesn't allow him to get into that tackle at all. So this is going to be a pretty important series here for the Evergreen's offense. All right, the kickoff team ready to go. Evergreen has scooted up a little bit. These guys aren't known for kicking the ball deep. Gonna let that ball take a bounce. And it is going to get pushed out of bounds by Fife.
It's a smart play there.
We'll see where they're going to actually say the ball went out of bounds. Let's see where they're actually going to spot it. There was an infraction called there by the Whitecap. There's Coach Beckman, special teams coach for the Evergreen Plainsmen. Probably having a quick conversation there with Fight for the way he handled that last play. Remind everybody that the second header game tonight, the second of the doubleheader tonight, starts at 7 o'clock, and it'll be the Heritage Timberwolves against the Kelso Highlanders. All right, so they are going to be backed up to, it looks like the 10-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 10. I'm sorry, that's the 15-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. So first down here. I'm going to hand the ball off. Gets that ball right up the gut. It's going to get down across the 25. Nice little 10-yard run. And that's going to be Kyle Norton, a sophomore. Norton now lined up as the running back. Get that out to Griffin. Griffin makes the first one miss. Tries to get to the outside. Nice recover there by the defender out there, Logan McKellen. Misses him the first time, but is able to make the tackle. And he's only going to get a couple of yards out of this. Looks like Griffin might have some problem with some cramping right now.
Yeah, it looked like he might have been cramping a little bit in the first half. Here we're going to see this replay here. Monda gets to the outside too, Griffin.
Yeah, and that was not McClellan on that tackle. That was Shea Dixon, number 27. And it does look like he is having a problem with some cramping right there. Be able to walk off on his own steam, but he's limping pretty bad there. So you have to be able to get that cramp taken care of and get him back in the game as soon as they can.
Those perma cramps.
Yeah.
Ones that don't go away.
Hands this ball off again. This time there is nowhere for the running back to go, and he is going to take a loss on this play. Kyle, 5'9", 160. Not a real big guy, but he does look quick. I wasn't able to get into the open and take advantage of his speed on that when they were on top of him right now. Wanda drops back, has a man open over there on the far side. Overthrows the receiver, fight the intended receiver. Carson Chrisman running with him on that play. That'll bring up another 4th down, and them still trying to work on cramps with Zio Griffin. They bring in their second punter. Turner's waiting on about the 35. Going to get this punt off. And it's going to be stopped right there at the 35-yard line. So the Cougars get back on the field in some decent field position with an opportunity to take the lead for the first time in this game.
And if they're able to go ahead and move the football the way that they have at the beginning of the second half, that's a very good possibility. I mean, they've been very successful at those short tosses. I don't even want to call them throws. They're really just tosses.
Yeah.
And they've been able to go ahead and get themselves in good field position to make something happen.
Drops back, going to get flushed out of the pocket, looking for a person downfield. And he looks like he's just going to throw that one away. Got to bring up 2nd down and 10. We're down to the last minute and 10 seconds in the 3rd quarter here. Lakewood trying to go on top. They're down 14-17 right now. Handoff right there. Right up the middle. He's going to get across the 40-yard line down to about the 42. Sets him up again. We've got slot receivers on either side. Another quarterback give. He's going to get in behind the big running back. He breaks it to the open field. Nice moves there to get into the open field. It doesn't look like he's going to get caught on this. before he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. And this is going to take Lakewood on top for the first time in this game with 28 seconds left in the third quarter. The Lakewood Cougars take the lead. Great running there by the quarterback, Jared Taylor. And some bad tackling by the Evergreen Plainsmen.
Yeah, he was definitely helped out there by some poor tackling, but at the same time, Jared Taylor's legs has gotten him out of trouble and make things happen positively for the Lakewood Cougars.
Yeah, sure has. Sure has.
After watching him tonight, it doesn't surprise me that he had 2 rushing touchdowns last week. In their game last week, in addition to his throwing yards.
So here's an opportunity to go ahead by 4 points. And they're going to do it. So a turn of the tables. Here's that instant replay. Just some nice footwork there. Some good blocking by his O-line. And then just some poor tackling and refusing to go down. He's going to get chased down there by the freshman. Tried to get that ball and get that out of his hands, but Taylor holds on to that and drags him into the end zone for the 6 points. So Evergreen unable to hold on to the lead they carried into halftime. 17 unanswered points.
21 unanswered points.
21. You're right, 21 unanswered points.
There's still 28 seconds left in this third quarter.
Fight. 2 deep men. This time it's going to be kicked out of bounds, and that will be a penalty. I wouldn't think Evergreen's going to make them kick it again. Go on and take the penalty. Discussing it right now. The ball placement after that kick. Well, it looks like they got a couple infractions going on out here.
Well, it makes sense now because I wasn't quite sure what they were discussing. I mean, it looked pretty clear cut and dry. Ball was kicked, ball went out of bounds, should go on the 35 as long as that penalty is accepted.
So Swain talking to the officials, trying to make sure he understands what's going on here. Evergreen comes on the field. 28 seconds left to play in the third quarter. So it looks like it's going to be 1st and 10. Well, they're still trying to figure it out. Going to place it down on the far hash. 1st down and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Well, I almost wonder there if some of the Evergreen players on the sidelines were outside of their team area.
That was a possibility. Normally it's a warning. Now you got the get back coach, making sure everybody gets back. They've already been warned once. Ball right there in the open. And he's going to make the catch on the 35 and get taken down by a host of Cougars there. Jonathan Simon, number 6, makes the catch. And with that play, that is going to end the third quarter of play here. I tell you what, third quarter belonged to the Cougars all day, all the time belonged to the Cougars.
Yeah, it certainly
21
did.
points in that quarter.
Yeah, Cougars came out of that halftime, with a game plan.
Yeah.
It was very clear that they came up with a game plan, and they were successful in it. And the Evergreen defense didn't adjust to it whatsoever. They continued to give that cushion that allowed them to get 5-6 yards. Either a carry or those short passes, and Lakewood took them the entire quarter.
They sure did. Lakewood definitely going into this fourth quarter with the momentum. They're up for the first time in this game by 4 points. Evergreen still able to do a nice big play. I mean, when you got Zael out there on the field, you got Fife, you got Deloney, you got Tay Marks. I mean, all those guys can make big plays for them, so let's not count them out yet. We're going to go ahead and start this fourth quarter. This is EPS Sports. Rod Lawrence, Brian Vassbinder. We're at McKenzie Stadium here in Clark County, Vancouver, Washington. Evergreen Plainsmen down right now to the Lakewood Cougars.
Well, it looks like Zael Griffin's feeling a little bit better. He's back out on the field and he's dancing to the pep band. I think he's got his cramps worked out.
Nice shot there at the sideline. Here's the Zael out in the open field. Zael is going to go right over the top of Pruitt, but Pruitt's going to hold on to him and bring him down. And he'll get down to the 41-yard line for the first. Defensively, Pruitt and Schultz out there. Going to get it right here on the inside. That ball's going to get dropped. They're going to call that an incomplete pass instead of a dropped pass. Fight the intended receiver, unable to hold on to that. Both teams for game 2 standing in the end zones of either side of the field. Fakes it this time, gets it out to Tay Marks on the flat. Tay makes the catch, and he's going to get run out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. Landon Pruitt there to make the stop. Tay Marks, nice sized guy, 6'4" and 190. And just ball off to Deloney. Deloney's going to get to the outside, cross midfield down to the 45-yard line before he gets run out of bounds.
That's a big first down for the Evergreen Plainsmen.
It sure is.
They really hadn't been able to get anything going offensively in this second half so far. So you have a third down situation and come up with a new set of downs. It's going to be big.
Most definitely. Marks goes into motion. Give it to Deloney right up the middle. Deloney's going to get down to about the 42-yard line before he stopped. Here's the replay. Kind of a counter on that. Pulling guards the other direction kind of tricked the linebackers to step down. Nice design play there. Second and 8. Going to fake it to Zail. Has a man going right down the middle. That's going to be Big Tay Marks, and he is not going to be able to hold on to that. That's going to go through his hands and hit him in the leg. Wide open, Tay Marks unable to bring that one in because that would have been 6.
It certainly would have. Man, and that's Evergreen's biggest missed opportunity of the night.
Yeah, sure is.
Would have put it back on top. It would have been a big play for him, and they
We do have a penalty flag on this play as well, so let's see. It's going to be against the Evergreen Plainsmen. That'll be declined.
I mean, this takes a little bit of sting out of it because it would have been brought back anyway.
Yeah,
but
sure would have, yeah.
Tay Marks has to catch that football.
All right, 3 receivers set on the far side. Oh, and now we're going to have some movement. Tay Marks looking like he was running a speed out on that one. And that whole side of the line, the whole right side of the line moved on that one too, so it's like half the team was prepared to the snap count. That'll back them up 5 more, bring up 3rd and 13. Honda rolls out, looking for Marks, unable to make that completion. So we go from a possible touchdown and taking the lead to 4th down and 13, and they have to punt the ball away. And give the ball back to an offense that has been playing very well in this second half.
They certainly have, and Evergreen hasn't found a way to stop this offense so far in the second half. Having to punt the ball here on 4th and long after you had a good set of downs to go ahead and set up the first down, right?
Right.
It just kills any type of momentum that you have.
Oh, and that's going to be blocked. Going to try to get a scoop and score there. But the ball is going to be blocked there by the big lineman who comes in. And that's going to be number 44 for Lakewood, Andrew Malloy. And here it is right here.
You see, nobody really picks him up.
Comes in right at the right angle, gets his hands on that one. Good job there by the Cougars special teams to get in there, block that punt, and set themselves up for some very good field position and an opportunity to make this to a 2-score game.
Certainly been a tale of 2 halves so far, hasn't it, Rodney?
It sure has. It sure has. You kind of think about it. Evergreen still really hasn't settled in as an offense. Their scores have been 2 big plays.
Yeah.
The Cougar offense in the second half of play has kind of settled into what they do and have moved the ball up the field.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2 weeks ago we said that too. It's definitely going to go ahead and take some time for Monda to find his spot.
Yeah.
In the quarterback position.
Nice quick pitch out to the running back. Pruitt looking for somewhere to go, and he has nowhere to go on this one. Deloney and Marks there to make the stop.
Going back to Monda, I mean, we've definitely seen improvement from him, from that young man. He definitely looks a lot more comfortable than what he did in those first 15 snaps that he took.
Yes.
Of week one.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just a matter of really dialing things in and really becoming comfortable and knowing his position. And it comes with that experience that he just doesn't have being a first-year player.
Yeah, he sure doesn't. Quarterback keeper right up the middle. He's going to drive that one down to about the 22-yard line before he stopped. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5. This definitely could be 4-down territory for the Cougars. Looks like the play was changed. The line of scrimmage will drop back. Looking for somebody to get that ball off to. Decide he's going to keep this one himself. We'll see where they're going to mark him down. David Kalia there to make the stop. It will bring up 4th down now, and looks like 2. And we've got a nightcap through a penalty flag, so I'm not quite sure what happened on this one. Let's see what's up. Looks like Coach Teeter has called a timeout. And they're going to wave that flag and give the timeout, looks like, to Evergreen. So, we've got 8 minutes, 23 seconds left to play in this game. Cougars with the lead, 21-17. The big tight end, Sept, number 99's in the game. He hasn't put his hands on the ball since the first quarter. This time Evergreen is right there to make that stop. And they're going to turn the ball over on downs. Great job there by the linebacker, Tay Marks.
He's had a great night defensively.
Yeah, he sure has. A great stop there by the Evergreen defense. Get them the ball back when the Cougars had some real good field position based on that special team block punt. They'll give a shout out there to the Evergreen D for holding these guys to 4 and out. Gonna hand that off to Deloney. Deloney's gonna get a nice little run. Being chased down by Sept from behind. Sept unable to get to him. And it looks like we've got a hurt player down there on the field. It looks like that might be Deloney. It is. Injury timeout. See what's up with this young man. Hopefully he's going to be okay. It looks like he is in a little bit of pain though. The good thing is he's able to get up and walk out on his own.
I'm not sure if he got hit in the hand or.
No, I don't think he got hit in the hand.
I think. I'm speculating
Yeah,
here.
there you go. So he's struggling a little bit, but he's made it to the sideline, and
he'll be all right
from there. Kyle Norton replaces him as the running back. Give it to Zio Griffin right there. Spins out of that first tackle. Unable to get out of the second one. As Jason Espy is there to make the stop. Wanda ready to take the snap. 7:47. Clock's wound. Going to hand this one off. No place to go for the running back on that play. Seth and Kruger there to make that stop in the backfield. Like about a yard loss on that play. Bring up second down and 11. Snap, Monda's looking for a man right down the middle of the field. Tay Marks, the intended receiver. That ball's almost intercepted there by Jackson Schultz.
They had 3 defenders there in that area.
They had him bracketed. Schultz was kind of trailing underneath him. And Robbins was on top. Here it is right here. And Marks gets a good takeoff here. Marks lined up on the inside. Rollout. Tries to find Marks. He gets the completion. Marks gets his feet down before he gets out of bounds. Good catch. That will bring up fourth down. Mondaman hung on to that ball just a little too long. Didn't give Marks opportunity to catch that ball and get up the field. And with that said, here comes the Evergreen punt team. Zayil not handling the punting responsibilities for the moment. Nice little kick, gets it off. He's going to settle in under it. He's landing Pruitt. Pruitt makes the first guy miss, gets him behind a good block. He's going to get back across the 50-yard line down to about the 44. So once again, getting the ball over in some pretty good field position. We'll see if they're able to do anything this time to kind of stretch this lead out a little bit.
Yeah, last possession, you know, the Evergreen defense did a good job.
Yeah. They sure did. We'll see if they can do that same good job on this possession. And we got a penalty flag right now from the line judge. Too many players on the field, I think, is what he is saying. And that's what he was able to catch as Deloney comes off the field. And there we go. So it looks like they got their personnel straight this time. Like they may have had an extra lineman in the game. So that will move them 5 first down. 5 to go. All right, we're set in, 1st and 5. We're going to hand this one off to Pruitt. Pruitt does a nice little run, cuts back nicely, gets down across the 30-yard line, down to about the 29. That will be enough to move the chains. Here's that instant replay. And he's just taking little steps in there and just finding creases and little holes to kind of get into. Just trying to keep the game alive.
You know, Pruitt and Jared Taylor both do a really good job of looking upfield when they're running with the football.
Yeah, they sure do. It looks like they are going to start running the clock themselves, waiting for the official to put his hand up, indicating 5 seconds to go. Nice little running there by the running back. Pruitt's going to get to the open, make himself across, down to the 5, almost in for the touchdown. Looks like they're going to have him stopped right at the 2nd-yard line. I tell you what, he got in behind those blockers on that play and just found creases and just exploded through the gaps.
Yeah,
and
he's
just kept it going.
He's just running extremely patiently and letting his blockers get out in front of him and watching plays develop. You know, and he's able, in doing that, he's able to find those holes and find those creases, like you said, to gain those extra yards.
Yeah, he sure is. He sure is. Goes down inbound, so the clock continues to run. Cougar offense will run the clock all the way, the field clock all the way down to 5 seconds before they even take the snap. Going to give it to the running back once again. He is just going to just lower the shoulder and explode his way into the end zone. And that's 27 points unanswered now. Evergreen had no response to anything that's happened to him here in this second quarter. Or second half, I'm sorry. The touchdown stops the clock at 5:21. Evergreen now has fallen 2 scores behind, with 28 now to 17. Evergreen had the lead for the entire first half of this game. And Lakewood has had the lead since early in the 3rd quarter for this game. And here is the replay of that run that we were talking about. And we just kind of see how he just looks for things and just finds space to run in and just kind of keeps this going. Evergreen not really making tackles, really just kind of bumping into him and holding him up for the most part. There we go, and here's that touchdown. Just nice, just decides he's going to score. His mind was made up, and Fife was standing there right in front of him, but looks like Pruitt was more determined than Fife was at that moment.
Yeah, Fife really needed to take a step forward and really meet Pruitt.
Yeah.
Instead of allowing him to just sit back and wait and kind of see what Pruitt does. If he steps up there, he has a chance to stop him before he hits the end zone.
Ball's going to be caught. It looks like it might have been fumbled. We'll see who's able to get it back. And Evergreen was able to recover that one. Close call there for the Plainsmen. Well, this is kind of it for Evergreen. They have to score quick here. Onside kick it and get it back and score again. They want to be able to get back into this game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Rodney. They have to make something happen offensively here, which they've struggled to do so far. Really the whole game. I mean, we talked earlier, they had the first play of the game where they ran that trick play for a big touchdown. The other one was the blocked field goal that they ran back for a touchdown. They got to find something offensively and get something going.
That ball's almost picked off. Intended receiver is Fight on that one. Monda unable to get that ball to him. Clock stopped at 5:14. We'll set up one more time here. Monda rolls out, looking to get something out there, can't get it. Now decides to go ahead and throw this one away out of bounds. Tay Marks was standing there right around the 45-yard line, kind of looking for the ball. Monda unable to set up and get that ball to him. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Looks like Monda just had a little bit of indecision there as he went to go throw the ball that first time. And
yeah, we sure did.
That the pocket collapsed on him, and he had no choice but to throw that ball away.
Yeah. Monda drops back. Has Tay Marks across the middle of the field. Tried to get that out there to him and bounced that off the carpet right at his feet. But he had the big sophomore Sept right there at his heels and had him actually wrapped up. Monda unable to step into that one and deliver it to Tay Marks. It looks like they're kind of deciding. Don't see the special teams. I guess they kind of feel like they've kind of gotten to the time in the game where, and it looks like they are going to call timeout here. We've got one timeout remaining. So you just kind of talk about what's kind of transpired here in this fourth quarter. We've seen the running back, Landon Pruitt, actually get better. Start running a lot more patient. Definitely a whole lot of peripheral vision working there. I mean, he is finding spaces to run into and then try to keep him moving down the field. Instead of just, running into a hole, he's allowing things to develop, waiting on blocks, then stepping into gaps. And just as he's doing that, he's just moving down the field and just making some good plays.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job of doing that. And, the who's also been doing a great job is Jared Taylor.
Yeah.
When he's running with the football.
So they're ready to go. 4th and 10. Evergreen going for it. Monda now rolls out. Trying to set up so we can get that ball out. That ball's going to be tipped into the air. Ziel Griffin, the intended receiver on that one. Not quite sure who got their hands on that and popped it in the air. But a great defensive stance once again for this second half for the Cougars. Down to the last 4 minutes and 53 seconds of this game. Big number 99 signs up off the ball. Quarterback's going to keep this one. Breaks it to the outside. He's out in the open now. I don't think anybody's going to catch him, and he's going to score another touchdown and push this lead even further with 4:45 left to play. 34 points in the second half of this game, and we are still not done.
No, and at this point, I think Jared Taylor is more dangerous with his feet than he is through the air.
As it is right now, you are correct.
You know, one thing that I will say that I'm extremely impressed with this Lakewood team is that they went into this half down 17-0.
Yes.
And they could have very well just kind of put their heads down and said, all right, well, yeah, we have a chance to come back in this game, but not really believe in themselves.
Right.
And the coaching staff came out with a terrific game plan, and they were able to execute it. And once they were able to execute and see some positive progress, Evergreen didn't have an answer.
No, they sure didn't. They were able to, Coach Teeter was able to wake this offense up in this second half of play. And just some good running there by that quarterback. Nice little stiff arm right there. And then just it's a foot race there to the corner. And nobody was going to be able to get there quick enough to make that stop. So 4:45 left to play in this game. And the Cougars have stretched their lead to 35 points. Not quite sure here what's going on there with the Evergreen team. Offensively, they have just kind of died. When we talk about the fact that they put 61 points on the board last week, and to really and truly put only 10 on here tonight because the other 7 come from a special teams thing. So it's onside kick there attempt. It's picked up by one of the linemen. He's going to take that ball and go down at about the 44-yard line. All right, clock stopped there at 4:39 as the Evergreen offense comes onto the field. Wanda drops back, gets that ball off to, and that's going to be Fight. Like Fight is going to be right there at the line of scrimmage. They're not going to give him any on that one. All right, now they come out here, 2nd down and 10. A little bit of desperation mode here for the Plainsmen. This time they're going to give the ball to the running back, Deloney. Deloney's going to try to get that edge. He's going to make it out to about the 48-yard line before he stopped. Evergreen not really pushing the tempo here, so may have actually conceded to this game and be content to just run the clock out and put together some good plays. We're going to fake it this time. Monda's going to take that ball himself. Looking for a block to be thrown by Fight. Here's going to get out to the 40-yard line, and that will be enough to move the chains. Gets out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock at 3:05 left to play.
Well, this has been the most successful Evergreen has been in moving the football in this half.
Yeah. It sure has.
At this point, it's too little too late for them to get back into this one. But these are still good opportunities to make positive plays, go back, look at film, and learn from these situations.
Yeah, no, definitely. Monda drops back. Fight is his intended receiver. Covered well there by Carson Chrisman. And that'll bring up second down. Second half of this game, we're running slowing down. So we're running a little longer, so we are over a little time on for the next game, but remind everyone to stay with us. We will come back on the air for the Evergreen, once this Evergreen game is over, for the Heritage and Kelso game. Monda looking for somebody. That ball's going to be picked off. Griffin was the intended receiver. Griffin unable to hold him down. He's going to get back to the outside. Tay blows through that tackle as well. Going to get back to the 40-yard line after picking the ball off at about the 15. It looks like we've got a down Plainsman down there on the field.
Shea Dixon there on that interception was determined
to
get as many yards as he could.
He sure was. He
turned upfield and he kept going.
Just kind of sitting back there playing center field, and Monda threw that one right to him. Here's this instant replay of that. Yeah. Looks like, I don't know if Griffin slowed off his route, but he was not going to go down once he got that interception. So the tackler on that play was the one that got hurt. Looks like he's holding his shoulder there, so we don't know if he had a shoulder injury there going on, but hopefully he's going to be okay. '54 is not on the roster, so not quite sure. Can't let you know who that young man is. But it does look like the way he's holding himself that that's possibly a shoulder injury there. We're going to hand this ball off now. New running back in the game. As he comes down there and gets a lot of good yardage out of that before anybody's out there to stop him. And that's going to be Malik Dotson. Malik Dotson, 6', 205 junior. It didn't look like there was anybody out there in a hurry to make a stop on him.
No, it really didn't.
He just kind of ran away with that one. I'm going to mishandle that. Second time they've had a miscue between the quarterback and the center here. Big loss on this play. That'll bring up second down and 21. Fakes it this time. The quarterback's going to keep this one again. Scatters infield, breaks to the outside, picks up some good blocks, and he's going to get down to the 25-yard line before he's run out of bounds. That looks like that will be enough to get him a first down. We'll kind of see where the officials spot the ball. But he is very close. Here's the instant replay. Just kind of fakes that and just kind of runs the daylight as it is here now. Picks up a good block. And there is Ziel Griffin to run him out of bounds. Nice little handoff. He breaks to the outside. Bounces even further out. Looks like he's going to try to get that corner, and he's going to make it. And he does. The officials are going to give him the corner there. And the Cougars are on the scoreboard again with another touchdown from 25 yards out. The big man, number 43. 43 is listed as Malik Dotson. It's not the name that I saw on the back of his jersey, so we'll just kind of figure out who that is. But a nice little run. He just bounces this to the outside and just beats the freshman right there to the corner and is able to get out of bounds.
This is not the game we thought it was going to be.
No, not at all.
We were sitting with 4 seconds left in the first half, and it was 10-0 Evergreen. We went into halftime being, 17-0, and all of a sudden, Lakewood put up 41 unanswered points.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. All 41 of these points coming in the second half of play. 29 left to play in this game. Lakewood keeps their schedule unbeaten. Evergreen is going to drop to 1-2. I tell you what, Lakewood's got a long ride home, so this will make the ride that much better. Kind of looking at last year's scores here, Lakewood beat Evergreen 46-3 last year. So Evergreen able to do a little more. Offensively, they pretty much still did the exact same thing they did last year. They put 10 points on the board this year offensively. Last year they were only able to put 3.
But at the same time, they were able to go into half up 17-0.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a positive that this Evergreen coaching staff has to take away from this game. They went out and obviously, I don't know what was said in that Lakewood locker room at halftime, but they were able to turn it on, and they looked like a completely different football team.
Yeah, they sure were.
Coming out into the second half.
Evergreen brings that ball back to the 30-yard line, 32-yard line. Remind everybody that we do have a second game tonight. It'll start approximately 20 minutes after this one ends. There is a certain amount of time you have to give each team time to warm up and get prepared for the game. So regardless of when this game ends, it's going to be at least 20 minutes before the next game starts, and that's going to be Heritage against Kelso. Both those teams coming into this game undefeated. Kelso with a big win, 62-0 over R.A. Long, and Heritage beat Hudson's Bay only 8-0. But understanding there was a bunch of fumbling in that game as well, so you can see non-league game. This is definitely a 4A school going against a 3A school for the second one. Hand this ball off to the big guy, and he's going to break into the middle, and that is going to be the best run from scrimmage for Deloney all day long. So they bring in another quarterback, and that's going to be Jonathan Landry, the freshman. Ball's going to get away from him. He's going to be able to scoop that up. Let's see what he's going to do with it after that. Showing his speed there, and turns a bad snap into a 4-yard gain. Not too bad. Definitely showing the speed.
No, that's not bad at all.
So here's that replay. He kind of picks that one up. Good job there by Landry. Gives it to Deloney again. Deloney finds the edge. He's going to break through and get run out of bounds at about the 35-yard line, but we do have a penalty flag.
Yeah, that hit looked a little late to me, Rodney.
And there is a late hit penalty flag there on the sideline as well. So we'll see here if these two offset each other and we just run the play again. We're down to 19 seconds left to play in this game. See here what the officials have to say. So I couldn't quite hear what he said. Something about both penalties. Doesn't look like they're saying they're going to be offsetting. So let's see how they march this off. They're going to march off the.
Is this one of those situations where they mark off the offensive penalty for the holding, and then they go back and they march off the late hit out of bounds on the defense?
See here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And that is going to be of the 15-yard variety. So that should get Evergreen just shy of a first down. So that'll bring up second down and 1. Freshman gets the ball out there to the flat. Picked up a nice run and run out of bounds with 12 seconds left. All right, so number 35, also a number, not on the roster. Does look like one of the underclassmen. Nice catch and run on that play. Kyle Norton now in there as the running back. Andrew drops back, throws it, looking for fight. That ball's almost going to be picked off there. Freshman does show that he's got a little bit of an arm there. That pass play stops the clock with 6 seconds left to play. First down and 10. All right, here again, final play of the game. Time he's going to go ahead and keep this one himself. No place really to go. And with that play, that is going to zero the clock out. As we come to an end here where Evergreen plays the first half of football but doesn't really play the second half of football. Lakewood 41, Evergreen 17. This is the EPS Sports Network. I'm Rod Lawrence. This is Ryan Bassbinder. Please hang in with us, and we'll be back for the second game, the doubleheader, which is Kelso and Heritage. Until then, we'll see you then.